Hello you guys, welcome. My name is Jay. Welcome to my home. In this week's video, we're going to tackle a midweek clean. It's actually Tuesday when I was filming this, and over the weekend I had not done any cleaning, decluttering, organizing, maybe just a teeny bit of tidying, but definitely not the weekly reset that I should have done. So now we got to get it done on a Tuesday, which is fine. We're starting off in my front room, which isn't too bad. So I'm just going to start, ease my way into it. I had just gotten off work this day and changed into some house pants. So that's why I'm wearing these pants instead of jeans, but we're gonna go ahead and just get everything where it needs to go and then move on to some more messes in the house. In this video, you'll also see some glimpses of Halloween decorations. I'm about 99% done decorating, and I'll do a short video kind of showing you everything I got going on downstairs, but I had to get some batteries in this light up gnome so he could go on the front porch. And why do manufacturers keep making these teeny tiny screws to put batteries in these things? And also, why are they not on a timer? So now I have to, turn them on when I get home from work, turn them off in the morning. Just the little things, as you become an adult and you have a home and you buy more things, you're like, wow, I wish things were made differently, but it was something that I had to knock off my list. So I'm going to go ahead and get some batteries in Mr. Nomi, and then we can move on. I had ordered 45 pounds of wax, so I had to get that box put away. And then at my local Aldi, which if you're not familiar with Aldi, it's just a grocery store. It used to be like a discount grocery store, but now I think it's more of just a grocery store. It's international, so they sell a lot of like German products. I picked up some really good clearance things, so I had to get those put away. And I guess going right into the wax thing, if you're new, my name is Jay. I own this home in Maryland, and my name is Jay Scents at Home because I do love home fragrance, candles, wax, all that stuff. I love home fragrance, and my Instagram is kind of mostly dedicated to home fragrance, so if you like that kind of thing, you can follow me over there. And I am gonna start showing a little bit more home fragrance on my channel, but it'll just be a change, so hopefully in future videos I'll work that in. But back to the cleaning, I'm just giving my rug a vacuum, and my vacuum died, which that's the one thing about these cordless vacuums. I wish they would maybe beep 3 times when I got 5 minutes left, but it did not. So it died and I had to go and switch to my other vacuum. I do have multiple cordless vacuums, but they were all purchased refurbished on super discount. So I'm not some rich girl. But I do have multiple ones. And I was influenced by Jamie's Journey. She's another, she's a YouTube mama on here. I don't have any kids, but a lot of the cleaning ladies do, so I watch them and enjoy their content. And she recommended this Shark Stratos vacuum, and I bought it. So you'll see that in my next video. We're all set in the living room. So, and I like having this room clean because I had some visitors coming, and they were going to be working in this spare bedroom, which I don't think I've ever showed. So I just had to do a little bit of tidying in here. There's a broken window in this bedroom, and they were coming to finally fix it. So I just wanted to make sure it was all cleared out. And I can't have multiple junk rooms. Right now, this is kind of a junk room because the window is broken. I don't really want to set it up, but I can't have this room and my storage room also be a junk room. And I have a converted garage that I use as just a storage room, but I was like, Jay, you can't have this stuff everywhere. So I'm just kind of moving all of the junk out of here really into the converted garage. And there's also some furniture pieces in here that just are no longer of use to me, so I just haven't sold them yet. But this weekend I am going to place a ton of stuff on Facebook Marketplace, so hopefully soon this room will be completely empty, but in the meantime I'm just kind of getting it as tidy as I can. And I have a pile of coats on the floor because I took my coat rack down and never put it back up. That's just how I live sometimes. I'm not necessarily proud of it, but we're getting it taken care of now, and that's what's important. Once that was all taken care of, I sat down just for a few minutes to take a little break, and this was my view. And then I had to get back at it with my kitchen, which was an abomination, quite frankly. For the dishes, first things first, I had to clean out my dish drain, and then I wanted to unload the dishwasher and reload it, get as many of those dishes as they're in there as I could, and then I went ahead and hand washed what was left. I did a little bit of a reorganization in my kitchen cabinet, so it felt like I had more space to put things away, which is always nice. I worry a lot about just having too much stuff. I don't like my rooms to be full. I don't like my cabinets to be full. And then that leads me to like wanting a bigger house. But then I'm like, if I have a bigger house, I'll just accumulate more stuff. So I feel like sometimes I'm never satisfied with what I have. I am just very grateful. I can remember being 14 and just living a really horrendous life and just wishing that things were different and never thinking that my life would be at this point. I never thought I would have my own space. I never thought I would have my own car and just be free to do what I want, be free to eat what I want, to have money, to have a home that I like. I just never thought those things would happen again because of where my life had kind of ended up, situations outside of me, nothing I could control. But so I do reflect on that. So I am grateful for what I have. I always think there's room for improvement. And while we're taking care of this, don't worry, I spare you me actually washing the dishes. I guess we can catch up a little bit. I hope you guys are all doing well. I hope it's cooling down where you are. I've heard some complaints that it's still not cooling down, especially on the West Coast. Here in Maryland, I think we've finished fake fall and we're actually into real fall. It has been consistently cooler. Our highs don't top 80 anymore. And I mean just in the past week, so I will take it. I like having seasons. I grew up in the Northeast, so further north than here, this climate's actually a little bit milder than what I grew up with. I mean, I grew up with like snowstorms were normal. I used to walk to school and just trudging through a bunch of snow was totally normal. We don't get snow much here, and we certainly don't get more than 6 inches, and if we do, it's like red alert advisory, people are gonna die. So I do enjoy seasons. I like all 4 of them for different reasons, and of course have my complaints, but it is cooler here. On this day, like I mentioned, I'm getting the window fixed, right? So first, it's just been a whole saga with the window, and that's one thing about being a homeowner, a single homeowner, and a female. I just feel like I get taken advantage of a lot, and it took them about 5 weeks to finally get the window in. They had to come back out and get the grid, which they didn't properly communicate with me. They installed the window. They came an hour late, which was already obnoxious, and it's crooked. It is noticeably crooked, so I had to write them back, and I just feel like I get taken advantage of a lot. And it wasn't the most expensive repair, but it wasn't super cheap. And I've kind of just acknowledged that I'm gonna probably pay more than a man would, just for things to be done. Not like 3 to 4 times as much, but I feel like I am always at the higher end of the quoting. And there's really no way to tell. I don't know any people that own homes in my area. It's funny, when I lived in Virginia, none of my friends lived in Virginia. I moved to Maryland, now nobody lives in Maryland, but that's just what I've been dealing with, and just a lot of adult problems lately that have been kind of stressing me out. My homeowner's insurance went up, and which means my mortgage is going to go up, and I already pay a lot. I know people don't like to talk prices, but I pay almost $3,000 a month for mortgage, right? And I do think I like when people say numbers because it helps. Now, my situation is going to be totally different from anybody else's. My credit going into it, the type of loan I got, my interest rate, all that stuff, but it's a lot of money and it's going up. And so I got to figure out other companies that can maybe provide a better quote for me. And I got like a medical bill that is, they say it's 120 days old, but I never got it. So just a lot of little things have really been kind of stressing me out, but I'm happy, I'm healthy. I am very financially stable, so I can weather these storms, thank goodness, without too much sacrifice, but I may have to sacrifice some candles. Which sounds very superficial, but we all make sacrifices and I can still eat and live comfortably, so I'm very grateful for that. Again, I never thought I'd be here, but everybody's got something going on, so I'm just focusing on those things and just trying to do things that make me really happy, like decorate my house. I love Halloween. I love spooky season. The decorations, I love when kids trick or treat. It's adorable. They're so cute. And just people being able to be free to maybe be somebody else for a little bit. I love that. So, yeah, that's my update. Let me know if you guys have any updates that you want to share in the comments. I would love to read them. And while I'm listening to this voiceover, I was just thinking kind of what people might say preemptively, well, why don't you sell your house? I can tell you, I live in the DMV, an extremely, extremely high cost of living area. My house is not that expensive compared to other homes. It's not that big compared to other homes. And I live in a really, really good city with decent schools. Unfortunately, the DMV is not known for its great public schools. I don't have any kids, so I don't worry about that. But I can assure you the rate that I pay is extremely reasonable, which is probably disheartening for some of you to hear. But for a single family home, I do not pay that much, especially with interest rates now. There's just no way. And I have looked at townhomes. In my area, they don't have a ton of them for sale for me to downsize, but I have thought about downsizing to a townhouse, but just with current interest rates, I'm in a good spot. I'm in a really good spot, and I don't want to seem ungrateful or anything, but yeah, just normal stresses like everybody else, I'm sure. Renting, owning, regardless of your situation, there's always some sort of stress involved. I'm still just cleaning off these counters now that the dishes in the sink is all good. I'm gonna put these hamburger buns in the freezer because I buy hamburger buns for one meal and then I put them in the freezer where they go to die. I'll pull them out, they'll be freezer burned. I'll buy more, rinse, repeat the cycle for all of eternity. But I do my best. So I'm putting them in the freezer. Hopefully they don't go to waste, but I'm not too optimistic that that won't happen. And I got a new crock pot. It's so nice to have a fancy crock pot. I have a really small one that I use for like work potlucks back when I used to have those in my other job. And it's really cute. It's great for like dips and appetizers, but this is kind of a normal size crock pot and it has a timer on it, which is so nice. I can set it for 6 hours and then it'll automatically switch to warm. So it's been really nice. I made some chowder in it. The chowder did not turn out as good. Unfortunately, it was not very good, but it was my first time making chicken corn chowder and my first time using that crock pot. So it's only up from here, but I got that wiped out. I put the dish in the sink and then I'm using the Lysol all-purpose cleaner in lemon scent. I think it's lemon, it's yellow, so it's probably lemon. And on top of that, I'm using my Wyman Quartz and Stone countertop cleaner. It's the one in the brown bottle. I prefer the other one in the gray bottle, but it's just a countertop cleaner specifically meant for stone because these are quartz countertops and I just want to give them the best chance I can at lasting a very, very long time. And I noticed some stains on the countertop and it's hard to tell sometimes whether it's a stain or it's veining, but this was an actual stain, so I just used my soft scrub plus bleach and my finger to buff out those stains really quick. hope that was a clear enough video. So nothing too bad, but noticeable up close. And this stove, I made tacos and there was dried ground beef and a nice layer of grease all over it. So I'm going to spray it down with the Lysol. And while the Lysol was sitting, I wiped off the sides of the stove, those two pieces of countertop. So maybe 30 to 45 seconds, and I came back and that grease came up like a dream. You cannot beat Lysol when it comes to degreasing your countertops. Last things last, in the kitchen, we got to get these floors taken care of. So I just gave it a good vacuum, and then I am going to mop. I'm using my O-Cedar spin mop because we needed to do a real clean. And I left the mat in front of the sink down because I wanted to mop that as well. Usually I'll move it and I move the trash can, but it needed a deep clean as well. So, and I'm going to use my Mr. Clean multi-purpose cleaner in the mop, and it was in the scent, the moonlit one, the purple one. So yeah, the purple Mr. Clean is what I mopped the floors with. And because this was a midweek reset, I had not actually cooked dinner yet, so I did all this cleaning and then I had to cook dinner, but I did remember to put on my mop shoes. I love these. I purchased them on Amazon. They're just pretty much pieces of microfiber. And look at my shirt, you guys. Making new friends, and it's a kid talking to a ghost. How funny is that? So it's by this artist called Stephen Rhodes, and he designs all of these, I guess, tongue-in-cheek. I think that's the right phrase, but it's meant to look like a children's book, but then the actual design is adult. Like there's one that's Let's Exercise Toby, I think it is, or Let's Sacrifice Toby. So it looks like a children's book, but then it's a kid holding a knife and a little boy laying down. That is a really good explanation of my sense of humor because I just think they are hilarious. There's another design that says sports, and it's a kid holding a bat, again, like a children's book, but the bat has nails coming out of it. So anyway, that's just a little thing that I like, and I feel really free to wear them around Halloween time, so people don't think I'm a complete weirdo, even though I am. Now that the kitchen is all clean, I'm going to show you my little Halloween setup. I have this cauldron here, and there's like a fogger inside, so it makes spooky fog and it lights up, and I have my candle, my witch's brew sign, and just a little bit of Halloween in the kitchen. And we are finally on to the last task of the evening, which was my bedding. I always change my sheets once a week, and again, it hadn't gotten done on Sunday, so I had to get it done this evening. And I thought that I did not have clean sheets, and I was so annoyed that I would have to do a load of laundry. But when I took some stuff downstairs, I found a pile of clean sheets. I don't, why was there a pile of laundry just hanging out downstairs? It was on my deep freezer. I don't know, but I'm just glad it was there because I was able to change the sheets in this video. And I put away all those clothes. That was about, I think, 2 loads of laundry from the past 2 weeks. And I'm using my Febreze antimicrobial spray. Oh, say that 3 times fast. I'm using it on my mattress topper, and I do wash that, so I don't just always spray it with the spray, but just for a little bit more kind of cleaning in between the deep cleans, and it kills the surface bacteria, and it smells good. The smell does dissipate pretty quickly, so you're not going to smell it when you get in your bed, but it just freshens things up and kills some of those germs, which I appreciate. So I'm going to get this laundry put away, and I'm going to get the new sheets on, and I'm going to pull out my winter blanket, which it's not super heavy, but it is just the heavier of the 2 blankets I own, and it was time to get that on the bed. And at night, because it's been cooler here, I've been just turning off my heat, and I just let the house get as cold as it wants, and I snuggle up under the blanket, and it has been wonderful. not too meticulous when it comes to making the bed. I just try to get everything as tight as I can and then looking nice and of course clean, and that is all that matters. And we are done upstairs. I took those dirty clothes downstairs and I didn't dust or mop or do any of that stuff. I just got it to where I could go to bed comfortably. And now that the cleaning is all done, it was time to finally put some new wax melts in my warmer. This is pumpkin maple caramel cream, or pumpkin maple cream caramel by Yankee. So I just got that melt in there, got the house smelling all good, and I made dinner and sat down because I was tired from work and then cleaning. But I am so glad that the house is all freshened up. Thank you for sticking with me, and I hope you'll come back soon.